Come on. One more time. Many people think that playing's alright. Let me tell you it's not. 'Cause you're playing with something high. Love is something that you don't play with. 'Cause one day you wake up and you miss your place in heaven. Learn to be responsible for when the things in our life. Yeah. Know that we can learn from things that we go through. Sit down and face this place. There's something that I want to say. Change your ways. My brothers, can you help me say? Change your ways. Change your ways. My brothers, can you help me say? Change your ways. Make a future a better day for the next generation. It's on its way. Yeah, yeah. Change your ways. My brothers, can you help me say? Change your ways. Make a future a better day for the next generation. On its way. Yeah, 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 yeah. Come on. Yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. Hey, yeah, 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 yeah. One more time. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. You can make a change today. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Don't be dissing family 'cause they love you. Also, if you feel this way, another way you can change your ways today is possible. 'Cause there's a way out of the mindset that you're in. Lord knows that you are going through it. And know that there is time, there's a place for you to stand. They'll still be taunting you for depression, but you can change today. And all I can say, come on, change your ways, my brother, help me say. Change your ways. You know the song, sing with me. Make a future a better day for the next generation. It's on its way. Change your ways. Change your ways. Change your ways. Oh, make the future a better day for the next generation. It's on its way. Yeah. Change your ways. Oh, change your ways. Make the future. Make the future.
All right. Sup, brothers? Sup, Uzos? Hands up if this is your first time here tonight, joining Hisspace. Don't be shy. Wicked. Awesome. If you guys just joined us, I had one of the Uzos outside ask me, what is Hisspace? Tonight's a bit special. Throughout the whole year, this funny COVID times that we're in, we had no idea. And to this point, I guess, with all due respect to my fellow Usos and my brothers here, we still don't. But that's the beauty of it, is in the journey. So welcome, if this is your first time. I see a lot of youngins in the house. Awesome. Congrats to dads and uncles or whatever for bringing them along. My personal philosophy is I'd rather build and help grow strong boys than to try and fix broken men. Right? You boys got that? I've got my son here and my nephew, by the way. I want him to be amongst kings. These four walls, anything that we talk about, anything that we share and discuss in this room, my beautiful boys and brothers, stays in this room. And that's a safe container that we've built, I guess, with Hisspace over the last 12 months. We had no idea, but man, standing up here is an absolute honor. I'm just a lucky face that gets to do all the emceeing, and you're going to hear a lot of my annoying voice tonight, but it's a collaboration of some beautiful men that have come together and seen the gap in what's needed, especially when it comes to the mental space, the mental health of our brothers. So congratulations. Again, massive thank you to the young brothers for joining us. Please take something away. The boys are going to be sharing, dropping some golden nuggets tonight. Take something away, go home, tell mum about it, tell dad about it, tell your siblings, tell whoever. And we're only just getting started, so I'm excited. I won't blab on too much, but our program tonight, we're going to keep it nice and simple. Tonight, we've molded around celebration. Throughout the year, we've touched on things like depression, suicide. What does that look like? All the ugly things that no one likes to talk about, especially us men. Historically, it's, we don't talk about that, hard enough, all that stuff. But this is the shift. This is the narrative that we're changing, especially with men, especially with boys. Again, man, there's at least, I'm looking around the room, over 10 of our young kings joining us. That just makes my heart. I didn't realize how many we had here tonight until I stood up. So, man, just especially the young boys, give you guys a round of applause. And remember, go home, share it with your mates. It's cool. It's cool to talk about mental health. Share it with your mates at school, hashtag, whatever you want to do. But remember, it is so much better to build and mold young boys than to try and fix broken men. I'm not saying that there's nothing wrong with that, because yeah, we all need a bit of fixing here and there. But it is much better to inject this goodness that we've created and help build our sons. So that's pretty much our goal, my personal goal anyway. But you're going to hear some speakers. We've got 4 speakers tonight. They're going to share just quickly their testimony, what they found in Hisspace, what Hisspace has done for them, probably touch on their personal struggles and adversities and how they've come out the other end and are here tonight. So please, guys, listen. At the very end, we're going to give the floor an opportunity to share. In our group, there's about 11 of us. The last count, Nikki, there's about 11 of us, of men. So there's no boss, there's no manager, there's no CEO. We're all one. So at the very end, we're going to give the floor an opportunity to share. So especially the young boys, if you guys got something in your heart, or if you're sitting here during the night and you pick something up that you want to speak about, hold on to that, hold in that beautiful space in your heart, and put your hand up at the end and come up and share. Okay, like I said, don't be shy. There's no one here is going to laugh at you. We don't know we don't have all the answers. We simply stand up here and share our vulnerability, some ugly things that we've gone through as men, brothers and nephews and uncles or whatever, as friends. But we're just sharing our life stories, and hopefully that you take something away, or hopefully that you connect with it and go, actually, I went through that, and then help you, give you the tools to better equip yourself to do better next time out. So it'll be awesome to see some of the young ones if you can share. So we'll give that opportunity a little bit later. So we've got some speakers. We've got some big thank yous at the end as well to some people, some businesses that have helped us along the way. We're only 11 brothers that's struggling finding our way through this, but we've had some awesome help from the community, from local businesses that's made all of this possible. So we've got a little bit something in the end for them. But yeah, we're just going to keep, like I said, it's the last one for the year. If you've just joined us, please jump on our social medias. Some of these boys probably have more followers than we do. But give us a like, give us a follow, share, tell your mates. Like I said, the new cool thing is mental health. boys speaking about what you're going through, boys like having a yarn to your mates at school. Hey, I'm struggling with this. I got teased by old mate here about this and that. So let's change all of that. So it is very cool to talk about mental health because we all go through it. It doesn't discriminate whether you're 5 years old or 55. So again, I'm blabbing on, but thank you so much again. Absolute massive thank you from myself, and I speak on behalf of my leadership group. These beautiful men, thank you so much for joining us. Some of you guys, we've seen your faces every seminar, every workshop. Like Nikki was just saying outside to one of the usos, whether we've got 3 people or 60 where people are standing like this, we roll out our program just like we're at Suncorp Stadium. So numbers don't matter to us. We don't need the 1,000 likes or the 1,000 room because the message is still heavy. So again, a massive gratitude, but I want to first and foremost just acknowledge the rightful owners of the land that we're gathered on today. I want to acknowledge and humbly thank the elders past, present and emerging. We're all visitors from 4 corners of the world, and to be gathered here on this land, I want to acknowledge the people that were here before us now and to come. So I see a lot of brown faces, I see a lot of diversity in cultures, and like I said, mental weakness doesn't discriminate. So again, congratulations on coming here tonight. Let's roll on with our program. Bear with us. But yeah, we might play a little game a little bit later, but we'll save that for later on. Cool, we'll get on to some of our testimonies. I want to first invite Tonga to come on up and share his story with us.
I didn't know how to put this all together, so I just thought it was easier if I just chucked it into 4 sections. I just got my intro, my addictions, my baggage, and I'll finish off with the good part. But my name's Tonga. Mum's Samoan. Oh no, mum's Tongan, dad's Samoan Niuean. Grew up in Wellington, beautiful suburb of Island Bay. Went to school at St. Pat's. Got one sibling, just me and my brother. I'm the oldest. Went to school, went to St. Pat's, finished school at St. Pat's 98. Mum asked me, what do you want to do with your life? Because I wasn't really concentrating at school, so she gave me a few options, Tonga, States or Oz. First thing I was thinking about was girls, so automatic came to Oz. Landed in this little place called Newcastle, which I met my lovely wife. We met at 17, had our first kid at 19. So I was pretty much a kid having kids. For you kids, don't do that. We had 4 lovely kids. Oldest is 20, 14, 13, and an 8-year-old, so 2 of each, boy, girl, boy, girl. That's pretty much all. And for as long as I can remember, sports has always been a big part of my life. I'm pretty sure I was born with a rugby ball. Pretty much played footy for like 30 years. Then, as of last year, found a new love in golf. So, pretty addicted there. Also, been concreting for 23 years now. That would be probably one of the saddest parts of my life. But that's just a quick background on me. I'm supposed to get 5 minutes, but I don't know if I'm going to make that. So, I'll just get my just trying to be as real as I can, and just say all the struggles, struggles and demons that we all go through and we all have. Everyone's different, man. I'm well aware of that. But for personally, my addictions have been gambling, smoking, porn. Don't lie, everyone's got that one. and sex. So the gambling, that's probably been about 15 years. Yeah, it was started off with, you know, little innocent $2 bets, $5 bets, and then it grew to a point where I was pretty much doing 1,000 to 1,500 a week. The smoking, I pretty much smoked as a kid. I don't know if that was just me trying to be a rebel or just be cool, but yeah, it's one of those things that stuck, and I've tried to shake that off, but yeah, that ain't going nowhere. But porn, well, yeah, that's pretty self-explanatory. Oh, you see a bit of skin and get a little movement, eh? It's just the truth, bro. It's just the truth, eh? Yeah, that's pretty much my addictions, but the big one is my baggage. So for as long as I remember, like, you know, being addicted to sex and porn, yeah, I was unfaithful to my wife, who I've been married to. Oh, we've been together 23 years, but yeah, that one was a hard realization. Like, I knew I was doing it, but yeah, I don't know, I was just numb. You know, when you go out, get on the drink, and then yeah, you see other females, bro. It's just, I don't know if it's human nature or not, but for me it was like, man, what am I hitting today? Yeah, that one was a pretty big one. A couple of years ago, I lost my good mate. Oh, he's same age as my younger brother. So, oh yeah, that's another one I forgot to put in. I'm pretty fortunate to have where I lived. I grew up with a set of brothers, cousins, and boys, and yeah, like we're still pretty close. Like today, pretty fortunate that I'm pretty close with, you know, dudes that I grew up. Usually, when you hear stories of dudes having mates, they say, "Oh yeah, I've lost touch with her," and I'm like, they're telling me, or they laugh when I tell them, "No, I'm close." So like, there's like pretty much 14 of us, or thereabouts, and we've all grown up since I was 5. So or 4. So one of my oldest mates is like, I've known him 36 years. Where did that go? A couple of years ago, I lost my good mate. Pretty much 2 years ago. Yeah, that was pretty heavy. He was in New Zealand, and yeah, because he's the same age as my younger brother. But because we were all mates anyways, it didn't really matter who was who. He was one of the boys, so rings me up one year and goes, "Oi, I want to come over." So I was like, "Yeah, sweet, come." And little I don't know, I actually didn't believe him, but one day he rocks up, him and his old man. You guys actually came. So yeah, short story, him and his family moved over, him, wife, one kid, and they had a kid while they were over here. And he pretty much stayed with me for about a year or so. And just, yeah, within that time, we pretty much became the closest of mates. So yeah, that happened, well, he moved over 12 or 13 years, or maybe 14 years ago now. And yeah, just to lose him, yeah, he passed away on site. So unfortunately, I got him into the concrete game, and I was actually supposed to work with him that morning. And yeah, I got a phone call from one of the boys saying, yeah, he went over. So he had a heart attack on site. Yeah, that one's it's been a tough one to get through, but it is what it is. There's only two guarantees we get in life is we live and we die. Yeah, so that's one of the heavy things that I carry. Also just losing a couple of mates. So this was all within the last couple of years. So I lost a good workmate to suicide. I don't know if you guys are aware what suicide is like, but death is bad enough, but when you take your life, it's just another level, I don't know if personally I find it as a selfish act, but everyone's got demons, man. Like, that's what these sorts of forums are for, you know, so we can share. So spaces like this, man, they honestly help. Like, the topics that we had this year were, what do we have? Shame, guilt, depression. Bro, that's shit that we all go through, man. Like, the biggest message I want to get across is the whole reason I'm just up here standing is to give you guys courage. Not to talk in front of everyone, but to talk to someone, man. You guys don't understand. Like, when I went through my gambling stage, I went through rehab, another sort of platform like this, but it was a Christian one. And when I was in that one for about 2 years. So the biggest thing I learned from that group was sharing. Because in that forum, when you share, you're not allowed to stare at each other. So if you're talking, no one's allowed to talk, or no one's allowed to look at you, because you judge with your facial expressions, you know? And when I just started sharing, like, first time, because I was shitting myself, I didn't know what to say in front of these strangers, I was just like, man, the relief you get from just releasing it, just getting it out of your system, or even just saying it, it's so healing, man, honestly. Yeah, like I said, so, you know, I've been part of a few groups. This one, that Christian one I was in, the Black Butterfly. Yeah, that's, if I had to get a message across, man, please share. Like, doesn't have to be everyone, man. Just share with someone, and I honestly promise you the relief you'll get, and the healing you'll get. So that's me. Thanks for listening to mine. Good luck.
All right. Hey everyone. Also, kia orana. Kia orana tātou katoa toa, te aro mātou te atua. My name is Siringa, Genesis Singapore. Both my parents are Cook Islanders. Born in New Zealand, South Auckland, Mangere. Moved into Oz in 2010. Primary back in Auckland was Southern Cross campus and Mountain View. Moved to Oz, originally living in the Gold Coast. Primary was Currumbin State, and high school and graduated in 2017 was PBC, Palm Beach Currumbin. I was more of a follower than a leader, me being the oldest of three, a brother and a little sister. My brother is 20, my sister is 10. So yeah, fortunately I was more of a seeing what my friends do, try to be like them, trying to be cool, then ended up failing a few subjects, didn't do well in my report. If most of you remember me from last session about guilt, yes, I was the fella that cheated on my science test. Yep, I made it. yeah, got a B+ out of that, but not doing that again. Yeah, that's me. For a youngling like me, yeah, there are many faults, and yes, I've got more experience. I need more. There's more to experience in future. Many faults I've faced, and that's a lot for me to handle personally. For myself, at age of 21, recently in February, yeah, it was pretty hard. So my problems were obviously, so we'll start with like depression, me being bullied, the high, I wouldn't say it's a bad thing, but the high expectancy that I have from my family for being, obviously because I'm the oldest. I am a victim of suicide, and yeah, so with this recording here, I never got to tell my family what I've been going through, especially with depression and suicide. So I really do hope this is a way of telling them, because I have so much fear in me that me telling them would make me feel a bit shameful. But I know for a fact after what's been happening, and the only session I had with Hisspace was guilt. Made me feel like, oh yeah, my parents will definitely understand. They will love me no matter what, because that's our family. That's our culture. We back up our own no matter what. So for you, Mum and Dad, this is my message. Yeah, I am a victim of suicide. Your real friends, you'll discover your real friends after you graduate, because you'll know who will keep talking to you, who you can trust when you're in your lowest, and who you can message and they will listen. Recently, so say I moved out of my parents' house in August and started living in Bentley, and with two of my best mates. So this is where the hard part will come in. I had a bit of a dispute with one of my best mates, and the things she said, it wasn't a build-up to where it led to suicide. It was just all happening in that one whole, just that one sentence just got me. It felt like a bullet hitting straight, not here, just right in my heart. And the thing she said, it was, we're okay now, don't worry. The thing she said, yeah, don't try and be like the perfect man here. Don't try and be like you're the most honest man in the world. Personally, no, I'm not the honest man in the world. I'm trying to be. I try to be real as much as I can. And she says, yeah, you've hurt people, you've lied to your parents, all the shit that I got, and that just like broke me. And as we were on our way to work, I stayed silent. I didn't want to talk to her. And then she goes to me, if you're going to ignore me, then I might as, because we were on our way to work, if you're going to ignore me, then I might as well drop you off on the side of the road, and then you can find your own way to work. I was wearing my rosary. As you might know, I'm not wearing it right now for my own safety, that I actually tried to tighten it so quickly that she had to pull over on the M1 and rip it off. It wasn't a good feeling, but I had voices in my head saying, like, if you're gonna, the only way you could stop hurting people was to end yourself. So that was a massive demon that just told me that. She stopped me, she did save me. She begged me not to do that again. Ended up going to work anyway. We all went to work in the same car, came over there. Came home, I ended up doing self-harm. So this was just before it hit September. I ended up using my own razors. I cut my own arm. I cut it a lot. My other housemate saved me, and she grabbed it off me, and then I ended up drinking. She goes, my other housemate says, you can talk to me whatever you want, I don't care, I'll listen to you. I say, yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to put you into this sort of position. And then, not too long after, it was my brother's birthday, so I went to go celebrate with him. I was hiding everything, all the shit that happened. I hid it all from my family. I didn't want them to know. I wanted them to think, oh yeah, oh my son's moved out. He's finally doing something independent. He's doing well. But to me, deep inside, I was struggling. I was struggling so hard, both financially, mentally, physically. I heard that same voice again. If you're gonna stop hurting people, might as well end it. So I ended up doing it again in my own room. I strangled myself. I had my other necklace, tightened it up. Then I couldn't breathe, and then almost blacked out, but half my body was saying, oh yeah, let's get it over and done with. The other half was banging on walls. It was kicking doors, trying to make noises, trying to get help. And then two of my mates came out, both Phoebe and my other housemate, Nadine, saw me and saved me again. And that's where after they broke the necklace, they called my friend Keala. So backstory with me and Keala, we met through dancing. So after footy, I decided to give it up and ended up doing salsa dancing, or Latin partner dancing, and it's pretty good. I started in September last year. So that's how me and him, we became close. We were one of the few islanders that did Latin. So yeah, you represent Hawaii, I represent the Cook Islands. Little did I know, he was a bit of a councilman himself. So at the time when I first met him, by getting to know him, and then now we're close mates, brothers in arms now. So yeah, they called him. He came over. He cheered me up. I was just lying on the bed, covered in my blanket, my whole body covered. I was shaking, and yeah, everything was okay after that. Then so this is where I had like a bunch of more than just one sniper hitting me. So a week later, after my attempt of suicide, my grandfather, the first grandparent, my grandfather, who's been with me ever from the day I was born all the way till the 8th of September, passed away. So yeah, that just was a whole nother level. And I was getting a bunch of missed calls, a bunch of messages. And one of the messages, that's where I jumped, and my brother said, you have to come home, Papa's time has come to an end. So that's where I broke down in the parking lot, crying, and then I wanted to hurt myself again, break my hand, whatever. Keala calmed me down. My friends from the dance studio calmed me down. Ended up going to my house, not my house in Bentley, the other house where my parents lived. That's where my grandfather lived. And the police was there. I ran up the stairs, ran up inside the house, and to see my papa lying on the floor in the dining room, covered in blankets. but the things he taught me, I'll carry that on all the way through. Never a day where I missed out the time where we both jammed together, him playing the guitar and I play the ukulele. Coming from my first ever session with Hisspace here was, the last session was Guilt, and that taught me a lot. I was in a room full of men who have their own issues, their own suffering, but also striving through life. And I feel like I was the youngest one there, and then they tell me their story, I tell them mine. I felt vulnerable, but also comfortable at the same time. That's a good feeling. But yeah, it made me feel like, oh, I'm not alone. There's so many of us, us boys, us men, like striving through every barrier. First of all, I would like to thank Hisspace for giving me such a healing session. Through the battles I've fought, I'm probably still fighting right now, trying to move on from my grandfather's passing, knowing that my job's not finished yet. I still have a task as his grandson and the oldest of my siblings. Yeah. So I don't have really much to say much about Hisspace because I've only done one session, but it was probably the best counselling session I've ever had in my life. I went through therapy, like personal therapy, and with doctors, with people from Griffith University, but I think I'd rather come over here. So yeah, suicide, yeah, is a very selfish thing, especially like following up from what Tonga said. Not only you've hurt yourself, probably, I don't know, the quickest pain, slowest pain you've ever done, but you've also hurt others in the long term. To conclude everything, I can't wait to live through life again, especially with a lot of good people around me in this world. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you. And you'll be doing teeth whitening soon as well, so book in.
Thank you, Len. Thank you, everyone, for being here. My name is Nicky Pati. I'm a barber here at Specific Cuts. I've been working here for over 16 years. I've known a lot of you guys here, and there's only a few people here I haven't met before. Welcome to Hisspace, and yeah, welcome to our home. I'm going to quickly share a little bit. I got asked to share about my journey with Hisspace, where I was to where I am, what Hisspace did for me to change something or to do something with me to get to where I am now. I'm going to quickly, let's just give a hand again to our brothers that just shared. Thank you for your courage, and thank you for sharing. I know a lot of this, all of us getting something good from it. I'm going to make my sharing a little bit shorter because you guys took most of my time. Thank you. Look, I'll start. Like I said before, my name's Nicky. I was born and raised in Samoa. My parents both Samoan. I finished all my school in Samoa. I've never been in a classroom. I've never been in school in New Zealand or Samoa. So my journey is a little bit different from most of you here. So I was born in a family of 9 boys, 3 girls. I'm bang in the middle somewhere there. I got a adopted sister, make it 13 of us, so there's 6 older than me, 6 younger than me. I'm that guy in the middle. And it wasn't easy. You know, growing up in Samoa is the best. I won't change it for the world. We didn't have much, but we rich in love. Came from a very loving family. My parents, my dad was a hardworking man. I hardly see him, always at work. My mom, she was my hero. She was my dad and my mom most of the time. When I was young, me and my younger brother, we nearly born in the same year. So I was young and I was born, and from what I know, that I was a really sick baby. I got told that I wasn't gonna make it. So my brother was born and I was still breastfeeding my mom. So they have to move me to my grandmother. My grandmother growing up, she was, all I know, my grandmother was my mom. And my mom was that lady. But she was my rock, my mom. I didn't find out till later on that that was my grandmother. From my growing up, my grandmother was my mom. And one day, my grandmother moved to New Zealand, and I found out that, man, there's the person that I love the most, that my mom's leaving, and she's leaving me in Samoa. She's going to New Zealand. Like, what's going on? What's wrong with me? Yeah, my story about not being good enough, not enough. My young brother was born. He needed the milk more than me, so they moved me to my grandmother so my brother can breastfeed at that time. And so found out that my grandmother was my grandmother, she wasn't my mom. Now, like, the story started when I was born, about not being good enough, not worthy. You know, I start playing with the little voice in my head that say that if my mom gave me away to my grandmother, what's wrong with me? If my grandmother flying to New Zealand and leaving me here, what's wrong with me? Like, it seems like people just not, it seems like no one likes me, no one loves me, but that was my own story. I've talked to, that wasn't the reason why my grandmother left me. She just had to go for a holiday, and I make it up. I make up the story that I wasn't good enough, no one loves me. And I started that with this family of 13 kids. I was the last one to leave Samoa. Everyone moved, everyone flew to New Zealand. My parents worked so hard to, take us out of Samoa for better living, better future. To see you guys, how amazing you guys are over here. So when everyone started leaving, I was like the last one to leave Samoa. Again, like my story about me not good enough, no one loves me, no one care about me. And that is another evidence for me to honor my story. It was like everyone left to move over here, and I was the only one staying. So I ended up moving here finally, and we all used to live in New Zealand. That was the next level. Like, just to come from a small island, not knowing much about the culture, where I was going, the language that I was going to speak. Even now, like, I'm still dealing with the language barrier, the cultural barrier, the lifestyle. You think Samoa was the only thing it was going to be like that everywhere you go. And moving to New Zealand was different. And then move over here was another different story again. it gets bigger and bigger. I see my life was basing on my story of me not being good enough, me not being enough. No one loves me, no one cares about me. So I started, at a young age, I started to do a lot for people to love me, do a lot for people to care about me, do a lot for people to stay with me. But, life goes on, people moves on. But me honoring that story really set me back. It really set me back. It got me to, there's a lot of opportunities, there's a lot of different things that should have go different ways, but my story got me to sit in that bowl of shit that I stuck there for a while. And at the same time, I don't regret anything. Like, everything happened for a reason, and whatever way that it went, it got me here to this point where I stand in front of you and share the story with you. Healing Rain, Black Butterfly, we start the conversations. I remember Joe here from Black Butterfly hitting me up about using the space for a conversation around mental health. I didn't know what mental health was. I just opened the shop because I felt like it was the right thing to do to help someone. I didn't realize that I needed that help. I opened the doors and, at night time and go, man, yeah, it's all good. You can come in and I just sit here and just watch and see what they do. And the biggest topics that I can talk about is depression. I didn't know what depression is. Born and raised in Samoa, we don't talk about these things. There's never a conversation around mental health. I don't even know what mental health is. When I was sitting on the night that we talk about that topic, people was talking. The question was, what is mental health? What is depression? I was confused. Like, I just didn't know what depression is. There were some boys that were sharing about what depression does to them. Like, they just cry. They just cry for they don't know why they cry, but they cry. And that is a sign of depression. I remember that, like, growing up in Samoa. Try that. Try just cry for no reason to cry. And see what depression is when they come up. You get a hiding for being a sook. That is depression. Like, you try to do that. Why are you crying? I don't know. Now I'm going to give you a reason to cry. Get a hiding. And I inhaled that. I took it on. I start treating my kids that way. And I got my son here. Is that my man? He's coping a lot of those depression too. And I didn't know what I have no idea I was doing it. I didn't know what it was, and I thought that was the way. I got told that was the way to do it, and yeah. Some people say they can't get out of bed because they're depressed. Try to do that in Samoa too. Like, that's what you call lazy. You don't get out of your bed to go to school, you get a hiding. That's being lazy, that you just want to stay in bed. I didn't know that. I was doing that. I did it to my kids. And that's what depression did. Like, my understanding and those things, I started looking into myself like, man, I remember Mace talking about, here are the symptoms. If you have 3 of this, yeah, that's normal. People deal with things, and people always go through stuff. If you have 5 of this, that's major. If you have more than 5, and there were 9 on the board, and I think I got 11. Now I call Mace straight up and go, man, those things that you talk about, I got all of them. I need help. And so depression was my biggest breakthrough. It was my biggest breakdown. I look back at how it was with my kids, and especially my older son. He was the first one, and you make your mistake and you learn from that too. Like, you know, the way you treat your kids is always the first one that cop everything. So I'm so glad that I have my son here. That's probably the most I've ever talked about this stuff in front of you. And I'm glad that you're here to see that. And I didn't know what I was doing, and I apologize for who I was as a dad, you know, for all that time. Another topic that I was, that stands out for me was shame. Shame was another topic this year that really got me. You know, I talk about born and raised in Samoa and moving over here. Man, it was hard. It was really hard to, like, you know, just trying to speak the language and people laugh at you. You know, you're just so confused. Like, man, this is my language. I'm doing my best to try to communicate what I want or what I want to say, but yeah, here they are. They're teasing me for not speaking the language properly. So that was another thing about shame. Like, it was so much shame to, you know, just to deal with that barrier around the language and not understanding how lifestyle over here, how it run, how it work. And I think the biggest thing about shame was my tooth. This one here, don't tell anyone.
Kids, press record.
Don't say it. My tooth, this tooth here got a gap on it. My dad knocked half of my tooth out when I was about 10 years old. I must be Superman at that age that my dad had to, and he did that's just the fastest way to learn something. That's what Dad think. But I noticed my whole primary school, like from 10 years old, around 10 years old till I was about 5 years ago, my whole life I was living with half a tooth. And man, not many people know. Like, I smile, I tell people, remember me with half a tooth? No, I don't remember that. But I was an angry kid. I was a really angry kid growing up. Like, I'll deal with those things that no one loves me. Like, I'll get frustrated that no one loves me. Why is people leaving me? Like, and I was really angry. And I got teased for, you know, having a cap on my tooth. Like, a lot of time I got a lot of fights, and I won all of them too. But I got in it, like, I got in a lot of fights because of that reason. And I was a really angry kid, really staunch. The reason why I was staunch is me just trying not to smile, otherwise someone see my cap too. But I wasn't even trying to be a tough guy. Like, I'm seriously, like, I got boys here that knows me from years, and I wasn't that guy. I was just trying to hide my cap tooth, and that's all I was doing. But yeah, like, when I fixed my tooth, it really changed everything. It changed a lot. It put a lot of smile. Like, my confidence was so down, and I couldn't do much, and I had no confidence for myself, like, growing up, not being loved, not being enough, and then a gap on a tooth. I was like, man, what's going on? So, yeah, I was really angry for those reasons. And then, yeah, Healing Rain, Black Butterfly, Hisspace, and they done some work that I did the Healing Rain program for 10 days. That changed my life. Yeah, there was some massive breakthroughs coming out of that. I found out in there that what love is, what real love, what true love is, and yeah, I'm in this conversation now, and I'm so honored to, you know, to be able to have this space where we can come together and we can share things. And, you know, I believe, like what Tonga says, like, talk to someone. I believe in the power of sharing. Like, once it's out, it's out. Whatever you're dealing with, like, man, just tell someone. Yeah, so those are some of the things that I just have to fast forward my sharing to because of the time. One of the things that I deal with a lot is alcohol. Because of how angry I was, because of the story that I was honoring, I suppressed a lot. And alcohol was my escape. Alcohol seems to be the best thing that can take away, everything, that can numb everything. And man, it's the most ugliest thing too. Like really no match to who you are, to have something to escape on. And when it's all come up, it's just the ugliest thing. I've been the ugliest guy for a very long time, using alcohol to escape from a lot of things. And it didn't serve any good. Yeah, that's my advice for our young viewers and our young men here. Yeah, just talk to someone and be confident in yourself. Find a way. We're all dealing with something. Don't be that guy that in denial about there's a problem. Identify there's a problem. Do something about it. Talk to someone about it. Get out there. There's heaps of other ways, other people that are doing conversations and doing things that can help you out. But first, you got to identify there's a problem. I do have a problem. I'm an angry kid, angry man. Yeah, I'm not perfect. I've done some really bad things, and I've done a few good things to try to balance it. But yeah, thank you for being here tonight, and thank you for listening. And yeah, appreciate your time. Thank you.
Wow, how you doing? How you doing tonight? You all good? Who's enjoying our night tonight? Yeah. Well, I want to say thank you to every single one of you. And the whole purpose tonight is to celebrate. To celebrate, our fathers, to celebrate our uncles, our young generation, to celebrate our sons, our nephews, and every single one, different age groups. And that's the purpose, to celebrate the fact, because if we're going to be honest, if we just be honest tonight, every single one of us, there were challenges that we went through this year. Every single one of us, young, old, if we can just be honest. And I'm sure that some of us here tonight, through that struggle and through that pain that you went through, there were moments in your life that you say, you know what, I'm done. Throw the towel in. But you can hear that small voice in your own head saying, don't give up, get up and go on. And that's the voice that I want to celebrate tonight, to celebrate the fact that even through your struggles, even through your pain, that you never gave up, that you are here tonight. So I want to celebrate that, because we come from different backgrounds, different issues, different problems, and the fact is, like, we hear a lot of testimony tonight, hearing about suicide and hearing about pornography issues, and hear about splitting relationship and not together. But the fact is, in the midst of all that you're still here. So my challenge tonight, is that don't give up. Don't give up. You got to keep moving forward. Those are the 3 words I want you to make sure that those 3 words sink in your head. Keep moving forward. What did I say? Keep moving forward. Say it again. Keep moving. Say it again. Keep moving. Now turn to the brother next to you and say, keep moving forward. Keep moving forward. Keep moving forward, man. Because let me share something. Because you see, Christmas is coming soon, isn't it? Is that true? You got Christmas and then you got New Year's. And if you look at every year, Christmas, especially these celebration days, it's pressure for men, because we have to provide. So don't allow that pressure to get into your head. No, you keep moving forward. If you get to you, just find a space. Escape somewhere. Just have that moment. Go for an hour. Just get in the car and just go and talk to somebody. Because we need to celebrate Christmas. We need to celebrate New Year's in the way that we need to do it together as men. So my challenge tonight is that keep moving forward. What's the challenge? Keep moving forward. What's the challenge? Keep moving forward. Because you were made to be successful. You were made to be productive. You were made to go higher and higher as men. We're not made to stay like this. We're not made to be stuck in one place. We were made to keep moving forward. I wanted just to challenge you tonight is that in that darkness moment, don't let the dark fool you. I'm going to say it again. Don't let the dark fool you. It was a season. It's just a season of development. It's just a season to develop you as a person, as a young person. So as you go through the dark, because I'm not gonna stand here and say that everything is gonna be okay. No, I'll be a liar. Tomorrow you're gonna face darkness. Tomorrow you're gonna face issues. Tomorrow you're gonna go through that chaos. Tomorrow you're gonna go through that drama. As a young person, as a married person, and those who are in a relationship, there's chaos everywhere. But here's my challenge. Don't let the dark fool you. It's just a season to develop you to your full capacity. So as we go to this season of celebration, don't forget to pause and celebrate you. I know it sounds selfish, but I'm going to be selfish for one. Is that okay? Celebrate you. Invest in you. Okay? So find that moment. Find them. If you have a son here, just go for that date, go for that dinner, and sit down and celebrate you for once. So if you go for those moments, as you go through that drama, always remember, keep moving forward. What's the first one? Keep moving what?
Keep moving forward.
Keep moving what?
Keep moving
What's the second one?
Don't let the dark fool you.
Don't let the dark fool you.
That brings us to conclusion for another session. It's been a massive year 2021 has brought us. Obviously, we want to say a massive thank you to the community, all the brothers, the uncles, the dads, everybody. It's been an absolute pleasure serving you guys. Look forward to the new year. Take care of each other. Be kind to yourselves. Peace, love, and unity. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Hisspace. Look it up. You'll find our logo. And we'll see you guys in the next year.